o'clock. Val started the whole program off, and I'm going to mention this again. We've had a month-long art exhibit for Women's History Month of women's art from all over Socorro County, not just Socorro, but Socorro County, and the diversity of art is amazing. It ranges from amateur, which is lovely to see some of the new artists who have their works up here, to our amazing professionals, including Sharon Fullingham, Skeeter Lear, Judy Richardson. I'm sure there's others. There's many some from the Fiber Arts Guild, a couple tech professors such as Chelsea Hargather, and it goes on and on. But we have a lot of art up, and tonight we're going to have a reception at 6 o'clock. We hope you come out to see this art. It's only up for another week more, and hopefully this is going to become an annual event and really grow. But we had such a great response. Each woman put in 2 pieces of art. Very excited about that. So that's at 6, and there's also going to be refreshments, free, so please come on tonight at 6 o'clock. And then at 7:30, we have a performing arts series show that's for Women Fest. And I just want to say this, Val. The theme for Women's History Month and International Women's Day, both this year, was breaking the bias. So how do diverse women get into their fields, get recognized? There's issues that a lot of people don't think about, and so we kept with that theme for the concert tonight. We have a Native American woman. Her birth name is Brenda Tencio, but her stage name is G. Precious. She grew up in Okayowinge Reservation. She's from New Mexico, born and raised, and had some hardships in her life, but was always inspired by music. She's young, she's up and coming, she's begun to win some awards, so she's opening the concert tonight. And her style of music is what I would call old school hip hop. Even though she's young, but I think that's the style of music that speaks to her. It's all original, it's heartfelt, it's strong. She addresses some issues that sometimes we're all dealing with, but we don't always necessarily want to talk about. So she's very brave and a beautiful and joyous soul. So that's G. Precious, and she's opening the night, and then followed by Nacha Mendez Trio. And Nacha does Latin music. She does a lot of original music. She was born and raised down near Las Cruces in a small town. She's totally New Mexican, but she's been up in northern New Mexico for quite a few years. She's won all kinds of awards in Santa Fe from the Hispanic Music Awards, also from the non-Hispanic, whatever you want to go, the straight music awards. We have a lot of different awards for music, and Nacha's really won them all. She also started a scholarship program for young women of color getting into music, and she says that's going to become statewide. So super, and Nacha writes her own music. And just to share a little aside story with you folks who are listening to this, I first found out about Nacha Mendez because a very dear friend of hers, Melanie Mansour, who's a piano player who will also be playing here in Nacha's trio. It's the Nacha Mendez trio and also with Melanie Mansour and Polly Tapia Fairber. I hope I said that name right. But I met Melanie when she was the piano player in the Alamo Navajo Summer NDI program. And this was many years ago, and Mel told me about her friend Nacha, who was such an amazing musician. So she's closing, is the main performer tonight. So a beautiful concert tonight. I hope you come on down. Again, the tickets are very reasonable, and I think it's going to be a really interesting concert, and that's at 7:30 p.m. Then tomorrow is Women Fest. It's an outdoor festival. We have so many things going on, and really, if you want to see everything that's going on, again, nmt.edu/PAS. But both today and tomorrow are we called it Women at Work, Val, and you can visit people where they work to learn more about what they're doing. Our hope was to be inspiring to young women to see all the amazing women we have in Socorro who have a whole variety of different professions in STEM, the arts. We have business owners, we have politicians that are women. So we ended up with about 10 sites for Women at Work, and on the website you can see what time they're open. They're open at various and sundry times, and we have a farm out in Palvadera. We have I have to look at the map to remind myself, Positive Outcomes is open all day long for you to go visit and see the kind of work they do. You can ask them questions about what they do. The Pottery Studio over at New Mexico Tech's open this morning, and tomorrow morning we can go in and talk to Belle Rader and see what's happening. So we have lots of different businesses. Desert Herbals, which is a local acupuncturist, and Jeannie Dixon went to school here at New Mexico Tech and is an amazing musician also, and you can go visit her office and see what it takes to become an acupuncturist and how she works. The El Defensor Chieftain has an open house from 9 to 12, and a couple galleries up in Magdalena. So we don't know how this is going to work this year. You know, it always takes a little time to get things rolling on the women at work, but hopefully we'll keep this going, and even if you don't make it, we'll do it again next year. And then my big plug, of course, is tomorrow afternoon. We're having a huge festival here at Macy Center, mostly outside. We'll have music starting at 1 o'clock all day long. Also, there's going to be some dance demonstrations. Studio Z, the gals there are going to do some Zumba for you, some really fun Zumba, and I'm going to get out and dance with them. And we have so many good musicians performing. It's kicking off the day with Julie Ford, who's a New Mexico Tech professor, Tori Murillo, and the Murillos are closing out the evening, and the band before them is also from Magdalena, which is Tuesdays at 2. Val and Ben are performing during the day. Colleen Gino, who's also a photographer, she's in the process of writing a rock opera, and she's gotten a bunch of different women to sing songs, and they're calling it Horror Chicks and Lunatics, and so that's going to be very fun, and you're probably going to recognize the women in that group. Shelby Etzkorn is going to do a cameo performance. So lots happening in the music end, and then up in Macy Center upstairs, there's going to be workshops and spotlight sessions starting at 1 o'clock. There's going to be a theater games workshop, a workshop in mindfulness, which I think is something to help us be more present in our lives. Vanetta Perry is going to close the day at 3:30, giving a talk about her new business called Soulful Traveling, where she takes groups of people all over the world. A lot of you know Vanetta. She's born and raised in Socorro. She went to school at New Mexico Tech. She was a superintendent in Magdalena for a while. Superintendent here for a while. Yes, thank you, Val. But she started this business. It's her absolute passion, and it goes into small communities, and not only do you get to travel and get to meet people firsthand, but you get to do projects. So we have a bunch of spotlight sessions. There's some yoga classes that are going to be outside, and a women's self-defense class. We're going to have 50 vendors and exhibitors. 50 north of Macy Center, all over the grounds, from people selling jewelry, the Department of Health, Socorro General Hospital is going to be there, Socorro Health Council, I think Kiwanis is going to have a table set up. A lot of different kinds of things will be for sale. The city of Socorro, I mean, I can go on and on, 50, so you can get online and take a look. So there's stuff happening everywhere, and food, the gallery will be open all day. There will be no lack of things for young women, old women, middle women, and men too. You guys come on out. We may overwhelm you, but
I was wondering if you're going to invite us.
Wow.
A couple of my friends, men friends, got in touch with me and said, Ronna, are we invited to this too? Of course you're invited, you know.
Just stay out of the way. Well, and it's going to be 82 degrees tomorrow, so it'll be the warmest day of the year so far.
Exciting.
It'll be great weather. No excuse not to be here. There's going to be, you'll be entertained, you'll be fed, you'll gather some knowledge, you'll get to meet some other people in the community. Yeah, I know my sister.
I was just about to say, the one that I left out. Jump in there. I'm sorry.
And my sister-in-law, who's a product of Socorro Schools, she's a product of Nick Fleming's community.
CS, Communication Studies, which I wish we still had, yeah.
She'll be here to talk to, and then
Crystal Gutierrez, right?
Crystal Gutierrez, and she's a mom. She's got a daughter in college at UNM and 2 little ones. So
and an anchor from KRQE. That's her claim to fame.
Yeah,
and so
she's
you can take a picture with her. She's like a real famous person.
Yeah. I'll be selling autographs of hers. So just look for me. I'm kidding. She wouldn't let me do that.
No, but yeah.
So this is one of those days, and I think going into the spring and summer, this kind of kicks off that whole outdoors thing. I know for the last 2 years, you guys have been very innovative in trying to do outdoor dances and concerts and stuff, and mostly successful, I would say. Whenever the weather allowed, we had some good times outside.
We had some good times. I think we got snowed on one day, but last March, believe it or not, I'll never forget that. We did a Celtic festival last year in March, and I remember one of the members of the bands coming up to me and saying, "What are you going to do, Ronna?" And I said, "What do you mean what I'm going to do?" They're like, "Well, it's snowing." And I'm like, I have nowhere to go. It took us 2 hours to get to that thing. But it turned out to be a great day. So, and thanks to Gloria Gutierrez Anaya, Val's powerful other half. She's been such a gem here at Macy Center as the director, and her whole crew, and BJ Lesperance, and we have a whole crew of students that makes these things happen, and we couldn't do it without Macy Center. So we've been a wedded at the hip team, and Gloria's been a yes person the whole way. So I love that about Gloria.
Yeah, she gets it done.
Yeah.
Spends a lot of time here. So, yes, Reese, you got a question?
No, 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Into 3 minutes. So
much for quiet.
So then, the rest of the semester, for those folks that aren't going to be able to make it here today or tomorrow, what else is going on with PAS?
I'm really glad you asked that, and I'm going to make this quick, but I'm just going to give you a summary. So next Friday, April 1st, is the last of our Presidential Chamber Music Series concerts, and they're really amazing. They're free. They're paid for by the New Mexico Tech president, and also this year the Susan Miller Memorial is supporting it as well. But 5 musicians from from New Mexico, but this particular concert is curated by a Socorro, and his name's Eric Sewell, who's been here probably for 10, 11 years now, but teaches music. So that's this Friday. It's a chamber music concert. Beautiful works by Beethoven and Mahler. Lovely program, free, 7:30 p.m. Super exciting for families. We were sad that the Jungle Book canceled for the 3rd year, but we're going to do it again next year, and it's really going to happen. But just all this COVID, they were too nervous to hit the road. But I filled in with an amazing show called Johnny Piers and the Muttville Comics. These are rescue dogs. It's like a new Las Vegas comedy show. They're amazing. They're fun. Johnny has a great relationship with these dogs. That's Saturday, April 9th at 7:30 p.m. The tickets, again, are super reasonable. That's Saturday, April 9th. All families should be at this show. It's going to be so much fun. And then we're going to close the season on Friday, April 20, I think it's the 29th. Pretty sure it's Friday, with an amazing group called Jarabe Mexicano. They play a whole variety of different New Mexican style music, also some flamenco, some Southern California style Spanish music, some music from Mexico. It's a whole variety of music, and they're great guys. They've been to Socorro before. They were passing through, and I took them over to the Capitol Bar, believe it or not, and we had such a good time with them. I was like, okay, you guys got to come back as a real bona fide concert. So that's happening on the 29th, and it's Jarabe Mexicano. So that's what we have left coming up. I'm super excited. I hope I see every single person who's watching this. Reese, on Facebook, is that where people get to see this? Yeah, I hope if you get to see this, we're going to see you here at Macy Center tonight or tomorrow. Keep in mind, tomorrow's all free. Everybody's welcome. Just stop in and see what's going on, and check out all these great things. I'm so excited that you let me do this, and I'm not going to let you get a word in edgewise. I can see you going.
I'm trying to. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit more about what Ronna's going to do next after her performing arts career is done in another 10 years. But we'll save that conversation for another time. I want to encourage, especially you parents, bring the kids to this thing. Walk through the exhibits. Listen to the talks. They can be inspired to be the next generation of artists or anchors on Channel 13, Channel 4, business people in Socorro, and they're all homegrown too. So let's come out and enjoy, eat, have a good time. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody today and tomorrow.
Sounds good. Thank you so much for asking me to come on. I appreciate it.
Wonderful. And we're going to be able to see this on Rio Grande Valley Radio, on my Facebook.
Correct.
We'll share it with PAS Facebook. So hopefully we'll see you all here.
All right, Ronna, thank you for joining us. Val, thank you for hosting it. And this is Rio Grande Valley Radio signing off.
Thanks.
Cool. Good one.